Adalita, welcome back to Australian Musician.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Greg.
I'm talking to you because your old band Magic Dirt is part of this massive lineup for the Spring Loaded Festival with Grinspoon, Regurgitator, UMI, Jebediah, Custard, the Meanies, the Fauves, Screamfeeder, Lindsay, McDougall. You've got dates October through to December. You've actually played a couple of these shows already, haven't you? How were they?
Oh, mate, it was awesome. It was so good to be back on stage, playing with our mates, playing all the 90s hits. Yeah, it's a real 90s sort of fest. Just hanging out with friends from back in the day, and we're kind of still doing it. It's like, it's amazing. Like I guess I just didn't think about doing this sort of thing, you know, right now. And if you'd have asked me years ago if we'd be doing something like this, I'd be like, oh, sort of scratching my head. But it's so great that there's an audience for this. And the audiences are huge. Like we played in Sydney a little while back. We did our first one at Randwick in Sydney, and it was massive. There were like thousands of people, and I were just rocking out. It felt like, it sort of feels like doing a home bake or something like that. It's got that vibe, you know. And it's so funny because like the audiences, like live, like people, all the punters, they have a great time and they love it. But this was like on another level. Like it was double the happiness. Like people were really loving being there, and just really, I don't know, just a great vibe in the air. And yeah, it was just great to rock out, and it's really well run, like, and it's a great vibe backstage. And yeah, I just can't wait to do the next one. We're all just like itching to get back there. So it's such a great festival to be on. It's on so many levels. Yeah, it's great.
How many songs have you rehearsed up? Are you changing the set list each time you play?
Yeah, we kind of have rehearsed a few more songs than you would need for a set, just in case one doesn't go down so well, or we have to change it up a bit, or, you know, oh, let's play something a bit rockier or poppier or whatever. So we got a couple of songs up our sleeve in case we need to do a change. But the set's been going pretty good. Yeah, it's going down really well. Playing some really old stuff that we haven't played for a long time off albums like Friends in Danger, which yeah, the fans have really been loving. So good choices, I guess.
You must have toured with many of these bands a lot over the years. Is there a band on the bill that you shared the stage with more than the others?
I reckon it, yeah. Look, we've all played together a lot. Like we've all done things like big day outs a fair bit, like Jebediah, Spiderbait, Grinspoon. Like we've all travelled the big day out many times together and had lots of great after parties together. Yeah. I reckon probably, and aside from the big day out, like doing, you know, co-supports or co-headlines and things like that, I think probably Jebediah is the band we've played with a real lot, and Screamfeeder back in the day. They were kind of one of our first mates that we met really early on in the 90s. Yeah. And they became good friends when we went up to start touring in Brizzy. So they were our mates from way back, like really early on. So we've got a very special bond with those guys. Yeah, I would say those two bands, yeah.
All of the bands back in the day used to play a hell of a lot, which means they're great live bands. So I can imagine, you know, one band after another would be a fantastic experience for people going.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got a buffet of bands. Like, it's unreal. And, you know, the audience is loving all the bands, like, even if they might not know us or a certain band, like, just you know, just some of the comments from people on, you know, you see it online, and they're just loving it, and they're really hungry for live music. And I think it's just the vibe, the atmosphere. There's nothing like seeing a live band. you know, and you're kind of socializing and you pick up the energy of other people, and you know, you just, it's so visceral. You just see it there live, and you know, you're rocking out and having a drink or whatever. And yeah, I think we're just so lucky, you know, that we have live music and we have such great bands, like Aussie bands. There's something in the water here. Like Aussie bands just know how to do it live. You know that. We all know that. Yeah.
The 90s was a pretty amazing period of music, and you guys got to tour with some of the biggest bands in the world, international bands. What are some of your favorite memories of supports?
Oh, mate, so many. I remember we got the support for Red Hot Chili Peppers back in, I think, the really early 2000s. And I think it was Flea that put us forward as a support. And I think his nephew or something really liked us or something like that. So he was like, you should get them. And we're like, all right. So we got the call and we're like, Red Hot Chili Peppers, sure. So we did your massive stadium tours, like massive, like, I mean, we kind of took it in our stride only because we probably had never done something on that scale. So it was all new to us. So we just kind of just took it in our stride and just, you know, got on stage and played. Of course, everyone wanted to see the Chili Peppers. So we would just kind of get out of the way kind of thing. But they were nice. They were nice crowds. But I remember like being backstage and they had a really nice crew and the band were really nice, although we only fleetingly got to meet them. But I remember they had like this beautiful yoga room set up and the catering was amazing. And us little like kids from Geelong, we were just like, awesome, let's pile up all the food on our plates and woo, respectfully, like, you know, we weren't, you know, going nutso. And then I remember once we supported the Foo Fighters in Melbourne and our guitarist was so nervous that just before we got on stage, he vomited behind his amp. Poor thing. What else? Like, obviously the big day outs, you know, you get to, you know, meet people like Iggy Pop and Sonic Youth and, you know, Joe Strummer, people like that. You just pinch yourself, just go. But then at the same time, they're just people as well. So, and they're usually just really nice and down to earth and they'll have a chat with you. So, oh my God, yeah, I'm just like talking about it now, it's like unbelievable the amount of famous, iconic, you know, musicians that we've met and played with over the years. I mean, Queens of the Stone Age, you know, like seeing, we didn't get to meet, I was going to say Nirvana, we didn't get to meet Nirvana or support them. I saw them play. But yeah, there's a lot of amazing bands. Yeah.
I believe you have some unreleased Magic Dirt material that you hope to release. Is that sort of stuff that's been left off albums or live stuff, or what's it consist of?
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Like we wrote a lot, like a real lot over the years. Yeah, we were just really just full of songs, and we had so many that we just had to leave them off records and just leave them. Like I remember in the 2000s, we were just writing so much stuff, like just a waterfall of stuff. And so that's kind of just sitting there. And then obviously, yeah, there's actually quite a bit of live stuff and people will also write in and send us stuff. So we've got, oh my God, there's so much stuff to archive. It's incredible, but we're lucky we've got it all. And yeah, we have this dream of releasing like a beautiful sort of collection of all these unreleased rarities and even B-sides, just, yeah, so much stuff. And yeah, there's even songs that are like, they're like single kind of worthy, kind of like they're good songs, but we just had all these other really good songs that sort of pushed those out of the way. So yeah, I'm really excited. can't wait to really get stuck into that, but it's a lot of work.
You've been working on a new solo album. I believe you've been sitting with the songs for quite some time now.
I have. It's kind of like killing me in the best possible way. But yeah, I've been working on my third solo record since sort of 2015. So I wrote the songs in 2014, 2015, then end of 2015 started recording, and I've been recording and mixing it since then. So it's, yeah, I guess it's been 5-6 years roughly. Yeah, but I've been busy in between. So yeah, as life is now, you have to put a lot of hats on and have to multitask and all of that. So, and I've been self-managing for the last sort of few years. So, you know, it can be really exhausting and very time consuming, you know, doing all this other stuff. So the record kind of had to wait until, you know, I finished touring, or I'd finished, you know, had to sort of prioritize. Yeah. Yeah, so it's nearly there. And I hope to have it out, you know, as soon as possible. So I'm right at the tail end of some re-records and right at the tail end of mixing. So it shouldn't be too long now, I hope.
Yeah. Have the songs changed much over the years that you've been working with them?
Yeah, good question. They haven't really. It was they were pretty much set in stone at the end of 2015 when I was recording them, but I just had to really finesse just some tempos and things like that. So all the parts were there, but it was mainly tempos and getting the right takes and things like that. So that took a while to do that, but yeah, they were pretty much set in stone from the word go. So they haven't really changed that much at all. Yeah.
So what do you know about recording now that you didn't know the first time you went into a studio?
I feel like I've kind of learnt most of what I need to know, but I guess, what have I learnt? I thought I would know this by now, but you have to be really prepared. You have to demo as much as possible, which I kind of thought I'd done for this record, but I've now learned that I hadn't. And you really need to be 100% happy with where the demos are at, I think, which I thought I was. So it's a weird one. Yeah, I think don't rush to go into the studio. Maybe that's a good lesson. And go with your gut, which I always knew. And I think the way things are these days, home recording has become sort of a big part of artists' lives, and I hate it. I've got to be honest, I hate it. I hate the engineering part. I don't want to sit there, because I've learned that to be creative and to be the engineer at the same time, it's actually really hard, because I'm so used to sitting on the couch in the back, listening and assessing and judging, you know, takes, and, you know, having to pick whatever you do when you're being creative and listening back. But when you're at the controls, it's really hard to be creative at the same time. So I'd like to avoid that as much as possible in the future. That would be great.
So no interest in producing other artists?
Producing, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. As long as I can sit in the back and I don't have to press the buttons. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I don't really know that much about producing. I guess I would just be a pair of ears and just, especially if I liked something, I think, you know, and I'm passionate about it, that would be really fun to try. Yeah, if someone wanted me or wanted to have me on board, I'd totally consider it. Yeah.
In the meantime, we've got these great spring-loaded festival gigs coming up. a big one in Melbourne at the Music Bowl. Have you had much experience at the Music Bowl?
I have had a bit. I did a rock whiz show there once. I did a AC/DC cover. What was it? It was oh God, old brain. Anyway, it was an AC/DC cover. So that was fun. I remember that. I saw PJ Harvey play there. That was a really amazing experience. I was sitting up in the side bit. I think I went there as a kid for Carols by Candlelight from memory. But the most recent experience was supporting the great Midnight Oil when they played there. That was incredible. I think that really sunk in then, you know, that, oh, wow, I'm at the bowl. You know, it's quite it looks really, you know, quite, you know, grand when you're in the crowd looking down. But then when you're on the stage, it's actually got quite a nice, comfortable feel. It's not as overwhelming as you would think. So yeah, they've created a nice space in there, and the acoustics are really great. It's really nice to play on that stage, even though it's so big. You'd think you'd lose the sound and everything, but it's actually really good. Yeah, but it's so iconic. It's yeah.
So
Yes.
post Spring Loaded, any chance of more Magic Dirt gigs?
Oh God, I hope so. Yeah, depending on how things go out there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're itching to play. We'd love to do a headline tour or some special tour. We've got reissues out, but it's just a bit tricky planning things at the moment. But oh, for sure, we're itching, and yeah, really excited. And we excuse me, we really haven't had a chance to kind of play indoors in venues to like our own crowd, like get our crowd in there and do our own sort of headline national tour. But that would be unreal, touring around the country and playing those sorts of venues and really just having our little space with our fans. That would be amazing. And yeah, we can't wait for that to happen. So definitely on the cards.
Well, we can't wait to see Magic Dirt at Spring Loaded. It's been great to catch up, and we'll catch you again soon.
I look forward to it. Thanks so much for having me, mate.